Maya was 12 when her stepmother sold her to a stranger for 50 coins. "She's not my real daughter," Elena said coldly, counting the money. Years later, Maya returned as a wealthy businesswoman to face the woman who destroyed her childhood. Some betrayals can never be forgotten. Before watching full story, comment below from where you're watching. Also like and subscribe for more stories. Maya was only 12 years old when her world fell apart. She sat quietly in the corner of their small kitchen, watching her stepmother Elena count coins on the wooden table. The woman's cold eyes never looked at Maya with love, only with the calculating gaze of someone who saw her as a burden. "She's old enough to work," Elena said to the strange man standing by the door. He was tall and thin, with dirty clothes and a smell that made Maya wrinkle her nose. "She can cook, clean, and she's strong for her age." Maya's father had died just 6 months ago. Since then, Elena had grown meaner each day. The little money they had was disappearing fast, and Elena blamed Maya for everything. "How much?" the beggar asked, his voice rough like sandpaper. 50 coins, Elena replied without hesitation. "She'll be useful to you." Maya felt her heart stop. She understood now what was happening. Her stepmother was selling her like she was nothing more than a piece of furniture. "Stepmother, please," Maya whispered, tears filling her eyes. "I can work harder. I can help more around the house. Please don't send me away." Elena turned to look at her with eyes as cold as winter ice. "You are not my real daughter. Your father is gone and I cannot afford to feed you anymore. This man will give you food and shelter. Be grateful." The beggar pulled out a small bag of coins and placed it on the table. Elena grabbed it quickly as if afraid he might change his mind. "Come, girl," the beggar said to Maya. "We have a long journey ahead." Maya looked around the small house that had been her home. She thought about her father's gentle smile and kind words. He had promised to always protect her, but now he was gone, and there was no one left who cared about her. With trembling hands she picked up her few belongings, a small cloth bag with 2 dresses and the wooden bird her father had carved for her last birthday. It was all she had left of him. As they walked out the door, Maya turned back one last time. Elena was already counting the coins again, a satisfied smile on her face. She didn't even say goodbye. Life with Ravi, the beggar, was harder than Maya could have ever imagined. They lived in a small, broken tent on the outskirts of the city. Every morning, Ravi would take Maya to different streets where she had to beg for money and food. "Look sad," he would tell her. "People give more money to sad children." Maya learned quickly that tears brought coins, but she never had to pretend. The sadness in her heart was real. She missed her father terribly, and she wondered why Elena had been so cruel to her. During the cold nights, when Ravi was drunk and sleeping, Maya would hold her father's wooden bird and remember his stories. He used to tell her that birds were free creatures who could fly anywhere they wanted. "One day, my little bird," he would say, "you will fly high and see the whole world." As months turned into years, Maya grew stronger and smarter. She watched everything around her carefully. She learned how to read people's faces, how to tell when someone was kind or dangerous, and how to survive on very little food and water. When she was 15, she met an old woman named Mrs. Kumar who ran a small tea shop near the market. Mrs. Kumar saw Maya begging one day and felt sorry for her. "Child, you look tired and hungry," Mrs. Kumar said kindly. "Would you like some tea and bread?" Maya nodded gratefully. It had been 2 days since she had eaten a proper meal. "What is your story?" Mrs. Kumar asked gently. Maya told her everything about her father's death, Elena's betrayal, and her life with Ravi. Mrs. Kumar listened with tears in her eyes. "You are smart and brave," Mrs. Kumar said. "You deserve better than this life. If you want, you can work for me in the tea shop. I cannot pay much, but you will have food and a safe place to sleep." Maya felt hope for the first time in years. But she knew Ravi would never let her go easily. That night, when Ravi was very drunk, Maya quietly packed her few things and ran away. She left behind the life of begging and went to work for Mrs. Kumar. Mrs. Kumar became like a grandmother to Maya. She was patient and kind, teaching Maya how to make tea, serve customers, and manage money. More importantly, she taught Maya how to read and write. "Education is power," Mrs. Kumar would say. "No one can ever take knowledge away from you." Maya was eager to learn everything. During the day, she worked hard in the tea shop. At night, she studied by candlelight, reading old newspapers and books that customers sometimes left behind. She learned about business, about the world outside their small city, and about successful people who had started with nothing. These stories gave her hope and big dreams. "I will not always be poor," Maya told herself every night. "I will build something better." When Maya turned 18, Mrs. Kumar became very sick. Before she died, she gave Maya a small amount of money she had saved over the years. "Use this to start your own business," she whispered. "Make me proud." Maya cried for days after Mrs. Kumar's death, but she did not waste the gift she had been given. With the money and everything she had learned, Maya started her own small tea cart in the busy market. She worked from dawn to dusk, serving tea and snacks to workers and shoppers. She was honest, hardworking, and friendly to everyone. Slowly, people began to trust her and became regular customers. Maya saved every coin she could. She lived simply, wearing the same 2 dresses and eating basic food. All her money went back into growing her business. After 2 years, she was able to rent a small shop. After 5 years, she had 3 shops in different parts of the city. By the time she was 25, Maya owned a chain of successful restaurants and tea shops. But success did not make her forget her past. Every night, she still held her father's wooden bird and remembered where she came from. Maya was now 30 years old and one of the most successful businesswomen in the region. She owned 15 restaurants, a small hotel, and had invested in several other businesses. She was wealthy beyond her childhood dreams, but she had never forgotten the pain of her past. One day, while reading the local newspaper, she saw a small notice. Elena, her stepmother, was selling the old family house because she was in debt and could not pay her bills. Maya felt her heart beat faster. After 18 years, she would face the woman who had sold her like an animal. She dressed in her finest clothes, a beautiful blue dress, gold jewelry, and expensive shoes. She hired a car and driver and went to the old neighborhood where she had grown up. The house looked smaller and more run-down than she remembered. The paint was peeling, the garden was full of weeds, and several windows were broken. Maya knocked on the door with a steady hand. When Elena opened it, she looked much older. Her hair was gray, her face was wrinkled, and her clothes were worn and faded. Elena did not recognize Maya at first. She saw only a well-dressed, wealthy woman standing at her door. "Can I help you?" Elena asked politely, hoping this rich lady might be interested in buying the house. "Hello, Elena," Maya said calmly. "It's me, Maya." Elena's face turned white as a sheet. Her mouth opened but no words came out. She stared at Maya as if she was seeing a ghost. But how?" Elena stammered. "I survived," Maya said simply. "May I come in?" Elena stepped aside, still in shock. Maya walked into the house that had once been her home. Everything looked shabby and poor now. The furniture was old and broken, and there was very little food in the kitchen. "I heard you're selling the house," Maya said, sitting down in the same chair where she used to eat meals with her father. Elena nodded, unable to find her voice. "Are you in trouble?" Maya asked. I have debts," Elena admitted quietly. "I lost my job last year. I have no money left. I need to sell this house to pay what I owe, but no one wants to buy it." Maya looked around the room, remembering both happy and sad moments. She thought about her father's laughter and Elena's cold cruelty. "Do you remember what you did to me?" Maya asked quietly. Elena's eyes filled with tears. "Maya, I was desperate. I had no money. I didn't know what else to do. You sold me to a beggar for 50 coins, Maya said, her voice steady but firm. "You sold a 12-year-old child like she was nothing." "I'm sorry," Elena whispered, tears running down her face. "I've regretted it every day since. I was scared and selfish. I know you can never forgive me." Maya studied Elena's face. She saw genuine sadness and regret, but she also remembered the cold woman who had counted coins while destroying a child's life. Maya stood up and walked to the window. She looked out at the small garden where her father used to grow vegetables. She remembered helping him water the plants and listening to his stories about kindness and forgiveness. "What happened to me after you sold me was terrible," Maya said without turning around. "I lived like an animal for years. I was hungry, cold, and afraid every single day." Elena sobbed quietly behind her. "But," Maya continued, "those hard years also made me strong. They taught me that I could survive anything. They made me who I am today." Maya turned back to face Elena. "I came here today planning to let you lose everything just like you made me lose everything when I was a child." Elena looked up with frightened eyes. "But my father taught me something important before he died," Maya said. "He told me that revenge only creates more pain. He said the strongest people are those who can forgive." Maya reached into her purse and pulled out a check. She placed it on the table in front of Elena. Elena looked at the check and gasped. It was for enough money to pay all her debts and have something left to live on. "I don't understand," Elena whispered. "This is not forgiveness," Maya said clearly. What you did was wrong and it caused years of suffering. But I will not let hatred control my life the way fear controlled yours. Maya picked up her father's wooden bird from the shelf where it still sat after all these years. Elena had never thrown it away. I'm giving you this money because my father would have wanted me to help someone in need, even if that person had hurt me, Maya explained. But understand this, we are not family. We will never be family. You made that choice 18 years ago. Elena cried harder, understanding that Maya's kindness came with a permanent distance between them. Thank you, Elena managed to say. I know I don't deserve this. No, you don't, Maya agreed. But sometimes we do good things not because people deserve them but because it's the right thing to do. Maya walked toward the door, holding her father's wooden bird in her hands. Maya, wait, Elena called out desperately. Will I ever see you again? Maya paused at the door and looked back one final time. No, Elena. This is goodbye. Use this second chance to become a better person than you were to me. As Maya walked out of the house and into the bright sunlight, she felt a weight lift from her shoulders. She had faced her past and chosen justice over revenge, strength over bitterness. She looked at the wooden bird in her hands and smiled, remembering her father's words. She had indeed learned to fly high and see the whole world. And now, finally, she was truly free. Maya got into her car and drove away, never looking back. She had restaurants to run, employees to support, and a bright future ahead of her. The little girl who had been sold for 50 coins was gone forever, replaced by a strong woman who had built her own destiny. Behind her, Elena sat in the empty house, holding the check and crying for all the years she had wasted and all the love she had thrown away. But Maya's story was no longer about Elena's choices. It was about her own strength, success, and the power of rising above the past to create something beautiful from nothing. The wooden bird her father had carved was finally free to fly.